Live from the business end of a Philips premium digital air fryer with fat removal technology, it's your daily dose of gesticulating and gyrating biz nuggets.
Something about the word gesticulating just doesn't feel right to me. It doesn't feel that good.
Joined as always by the ethereal Emma Lurking, if you know what I mean, and mulish Matt Mascardi. I'm Milwaukee's best. Today, in our biodegradable dog poop bag called November 17th, 2021, Gen Zs versus Millennials, Robin Hood leadership, creepy CEO behavior, and a grab bag of biznug beauties. Are you ready, Matt?
Do it!
Gen Z versus Millennials. Let's start with the truly serious subject matter. Climate change, dumb. Income inequality, dumb and boring. Cultural wars, dumb and boring and dumb again. Let's talk about what's really important. Which corporations, brands do Gen Zers and Millennials like the most? First, a primer. Gen Zers are between 8 and 24 years old. Millennials are between 25 and 40 years old. Got it, right? Nobody cares. Well, Matt comparably cares, I guess. They just released its top 50 brands for each generation. But I want to just focus on the top 10 for each. Specifically, where do the generations agree? Are you ready?
Yes, synergy.
Here are the 5 brands they both love. Number 1, Google. Everybody likes to search for killer sharks eating Bradley Cooper and then email their grandmother to tell them that Bradley Cooper still looks hot, dismembered, and bloody.
I just did that.
Number 2, Amazon. Yep, people pretend to hate wealth-hoarding, white male space penis pioneer, environment-killing, local store-destroying overlords, but actually, they are big fat liars, Matt.
Wow, the jury's in.
Number 3, Apple. Okay, beside from Emma Lurking, who pretends to hate her wonderful iPhone, iPad, and MacBook, people dig Apple. We get it. Apple products don't suck. Sorry, Microsoft Zune. Number 4, Netflix. Duh. Escapism, addiction, maybe get lucky because you're already semi-reclining. What's not to love here? Dave Chappelle can hate on the trans community and their 32% pay gap as long as I gets me some food porn, Great British Baking Show.
I'm so hungry.
And finally, the last company that both Gen Z and Millennials mutually love is maybe the greatest of them all. A company that truly puts its juicy and greasy thighs behind good old-fashioned hatred of gay people. Matt, it's Chick-fil-A.
No.
There you have it. What did you learn here? You're asking me?
Oh, that makes me sad. In eerie foreshadowing news, here's the headline. Francis Frey joins Robinhood Markets board of directors. Wait, you don't care? So you don't care that Frey is a pretty epic human being by all accounts? You don't care that Robinhood is bringing in a math major with a PhD from Wharton who's a professor at Harvard, bringing that person to your board? You don't care that Robinhood's board was basically 30% founders until adding the incredibly qualified and happens to be gay professor and another woman, Dara Treseder, the one person of color on the board who's not a founder? Well, let me make you care, because you should. The addition of Frey might actually be the death knell for one or both of the founders of Robinhood.
I like this.
Stay with me. Frey has worked with 2 companies prior to Robinhood. First, she was added to Uber as the senior vice president of leadership and strategy in June of 2017. If you need a refresher what was going on then, she was brought in to help then CEO Travis Kalanick not be a total douchebag.
How'd that go?
And failed miserably. She left the company to go teach classes about how not to be a douchebag after that, only to find herself hired as a senior advisor to Riot Games in September of 2018. What happened to Riot Games right around? Oh, in November of 2018, news broke that Riot was being sued by employees for gender discrimination. And this year, the CEO is being investigated for unwanted sexual advances. Can you do the math here? You know where this is going. Here's a quote from Robinhood's Glassdoor page from 2019, quote, toxic environment with inappropriate sexual relationships between management and subordinates. That was how they rated Robinhood. So let me just pre-read you a headline from January 14th of 2022. Robinhood employees sue company for rapey, gross, terrible, misogynistic behavior. New board member Frances Frey registers her disgust. Welcome to the board, Frances.
Matt, can we get Frances Frey over at Activision Blizzard? Let's get back to our favorite TV show. How much actual rotten shit does the CEO and founder have to do before he goes the way of Papa John? On today's episode, the ongoing saga of Activision Blizzard CEO and founder Bobby Kotick. Let's look at some random headlines from right now. Activision CEO Bobby Kotick knew for years about sexual misconduct allegations at video game giant. Bobby Kotick actually wrote Chief Compliance Officer Fran Townsend's deranged company-wide email that was so bad it led to staff walkout earlier this year. Kotick now regrets it. Third headline, Activision Blizzard workers walk out and demand CEO Bobby Kotick's resignation. Number 4, Blizzard's first female co-leader only got equal pay after tendering her resignation. Number 5, group of Activision Blizzard shareholders joins call for CEO Bobby Kotick's resignation. And last but best, ready for this one, Matt? Hold on.
Bring it. I'm so
Activision CEO Bobby Kotick threatened to have his former assistant killed, according to a bombshell new investigation. We gave the joke writers the day off on these headlines. No need to embellish. Let me remind you that despite the ongoing scandals at Activision Blizzard, founder Bobby Kotick remains the CEO. The board's chair, Brian Kelly, is an executive who has had first-hand view of the scandals since 1991.
Yeah.
And the supposed lead independent director has been on the board for 24 years. Woo. In the corporate governance world, we call this decades of snuggling.
I feel so warm.
On next week's episode of How Much Actual Rotten Shit Does the CEO and Founder Have to Do Before He Goes the Way of Papa John, we check in on McDonald's CEO Chris Kempczinski, who was last seen declawing puppies behind a Lululemon in Aspen, Colorado.
Can I just say, first of all, Bobby Kotick, congratulations for making that $240 million you made 2 years ago, because I don't think that's going to happen again. But this is my new favorite segment. We should do this all the time. This just seems like a
Unfortunately, we don't have a choice, Matt. No choice. Let's end the show with 4 quick hits. First, United Airlines resumes serving hard liquor on flights ahead of the holiday travel season. The decision was made in partnership with WWE, who is said to be filming its Christmas edition of SmackDown on an understaffed flight from Kansas City to Houston on Christmas Eve that will intentionally be delayed for 4 hours to, quote, warm up the engine a bit, unquote. What the hell is that, Matt?
I also heard that UA is looking into offering 4 Loko, which is a caffeinated canned alcoholic drink, on all Chicago O'Hare flights from Thanksgiving to Christmas. And I think when you buy one, you get a free shiv. So I think this is a great marketing play.
Next headline, the top 25% most active Twitter users produce 97% of all tweets, while most of us just lurk, like Emma lurking. Here at Business Pants, we want to quickly put this number into perspective. Let's say that all of your Twitter users consist of 1, a nice lady, 2, a nice teenager, 3, a nice gentleman, and 4, an obnoxious asshole. Then what this headline is really trying to say is that 97% of all tweets come from an obnoxious asshole. Matt, you like that math? Come on.
I love it when you do math. And
thank you.
Emma, you're finally part of the 75% you wanted to be a part of. Congratulations.
The next headline, child care deserts are a secret driver of the labor shortage, and half of Americans live in one. The answer to this is pretty obvious. Build a playpen in the bottom of a McDonald's fryer and blame the parents when they come home coated in delicious third-degree burns. Am I right, McDonald's CEO Chris Kempczinski?
You got it. Why is there not a robot for this yet? In China, they have the thing called the iPal. It sells for $2,500. It's marketed as childcare with a, quote, emotion management system. Problem solved, America.
And finally, in today's bag of biz nuggets, I'd like to honor the alliteration department at Bloomberg for this tasty pre-Turkey Day treat.
Wait, they
first,
have a whole department for that?
yeah, absolutely. First, the New York Times version. You ready?
Yeah.
Working remotely gave more whistleblowers the confidence to send tips to the SEC. And now, the English majors at Bloomberg. Corporate snitching to SEC surges as telework emboldens tipsters. God rest your soul, William Carlos Williams. That's all I got. Come on, Matt. Come on.
So many S's. That was Damian Rollis. I am Matt Moscardi. Emma lurks in the ether. We are Free Float Media. If you like this, come back tomorrow where we'll give you more sweaty, socky, armpit, hair covered
I don't know.
biz
Off script.
nuggets. Biz nuggets.